start the July 2026 Jacksonville North Alaska School Board of Education meeting. This time I'd like to talk about our vision. Jacksonville North Alaska School District will be a model district where every learner is valued and empowered to become a successful contributing member of society. Our mission is that the Jacksonville North Alaska School District will foster a culture of ownership and accountability through partnerships that create multiple pathways to success. This time I'd ask Mr. Moore to call the roll.
Colonel Smith.
Present.
Daniel Gray.
Here.
Taylor Coleman.
Present.
Jim Moore, present. Ron McDaniel.
Present.
Dina Tomey.
Here.
Lauren Martin.
Here.
Laura Wolf.
Here.
All here, sir.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to stand for a moment of silence. And Mrs. Walker, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, first order of business is special presentations. And Dr. Smith will come up and give us that presentation.
Yes, sir. Want to share with you our discipline data for the 2025-2026 school year, and for reference, providing the last 4 years so that we can see the trends. It's overall, the rolling averages is a little bit down, but some of our actions are up just a little bit from last year. Suspensions was up just a little bit from last year. ISS was down just a little bit from last year, so about 100 either way. Suspensions was pretty steady, five more suspensions than we had, or expulsions than we had the previous year. And all actions, and this is not a shock to see a pretty sharp increase. And one of the reasons is because if you recall, this time last year we were discussing cell phone policy with the new cell phone statute that went into effect, and anticipate a change there, and we did have many more cell phone violations as a result, and then there were some secondary violations that I think are probably a result of that as well. And so, looking at the data, the suspensions, ISS, expulsions, what is everything else when we look at all actions? Most of those are parent-guardian conference. And so, parent-guardian conference, obviously, that's not a removal from school. That's a disciplinary, that goes down as an action in our system, because we want to track and monitor that so we can ensure that we are trying to contact parents prior to removal whenever possible, particularly for those low-level offenses, and those first occurrences of those low-level offenses in accordance with the handbook and the progressive discipline that's outlined in the handbook. So most of those are that. The thing to celebrate is this, and most of our scholars are coming to school and trying to have school. This is the percentage of scholars in green there who have either 0 or 1 level 3 infractions, and level 3 infractions are our second most serious level of infractions. And then when we look at level 4 infractions, 99% of our scholars don't have a level 4 infraction. And so we're working toward having improving our tier 1, where we're providing an environment that's really conducive to good behavior, and also improving our Tier 2. Been working over the summer to improve our Tier 2 for those scholars who are struggling with their behavior, and providing targeted support and putting those things in place so that when they return to school in the August, we have interventions in place and we're not waiting till there's an incident to get those interventions started. So look at historical data to help us identify some scholars who would benefit from ongoing and proactive interventions. Some of the most common infractions, are disruptive behavior and insubordination. I believe insubordination increased, and I think that may have increased in part because of the cell phone. Sometimes we'd see scholars who were reluctant to give their cell phone up when they were told to do so. Electronic device was one of the major ones as well. Then disorderly in conduct. We'll look at disorderly in conduct in just a minute when we group those with the adversarial infractions. The adversarial infractions, these are common infractions that are some sort of fight, bullying, harassment, and battery is essentially when someone strikes another student and it's not returned. It's not a mutual fight. And so fighting is the most prominent of those. Harassment, level 2, which is essentially similar to bullying when we look at our policy, but a lower offense of it. And many of the rules in our handbook policy, you'll see 2 offenses that are similar. One might be a level 2 offense, one's a level 3 offense, so that when there's a more minor incident, we can respond appropriately and not maybe use suspension right off the bat. So the harassment, they're not exactly the same, but that's how I would compare those to harassment and bullying. And then our changes, some of our big changes, I think there's a lot of different ways to calculate tardies. I think tardies were being recorded in eSchool, even the first second before it's actually an offense, and I think that may be the big result of the change. Last year, moved tobacco out of level 3, and we put some interventions in place for in response to tobacco, where scholars participate in a cessation program after they have an offense, and we saw a decrease there. Big increase, as you can see and as expected, was the cell phones. And we hope to, as everyone gets adjusted and accustomed to the No Cell Phone Act, then we hope that will level off and decrease. Then big increase also was insubordination, I suspect, and I am, I can't say for certain, but I suspect some of those are a result of being asked to provide their cell phone and unwillingness to do so. And I do know that looking at many of them, that is the case. And then next is disruptive behavior. All right, Doc, could we go back a couple slides to the adversarial right there? All right, go back one more, I'm sorry. One thing I did want to point out and thank our campus administrators. I mentioned that many of our infractions will have something similar as a level 2 and a level 3. Disruptive behavior and disorderly conduct are similar offenses. They're not exactly the same, but disruptive behavior is the more minor version of it. So really, obviously that's a lot, and we're working to improve that. However, it is a good thing that we're interpreting that behavior in a manner that's more favorable to the scholar, and we're not just taking any offense and trying to accuse or place the most serious offense on the scholar. Now, entertain any questions at this time.
Do you have any questions, Dr. Smith? All right, thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Okay, next we have an addition. Mr. Scott Beersley with First Security is going to come up and do a presentation for us.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to just quickly update you on a couple of regulatory changes that really affect me as a service provider to the district, and then ask you to update our 3-year agreement with the school district that will reflect some of these regulatory changes. So several years ago, the Securities Exchange Commission started looking at professionals that provide advice to school districts. And they created a new term that's called a municipal advisor. The first 25 years of my career, I was a financial advisor. But the SEC now says that financial advisors give advice to individuals. And municipal advisors give advice to schools and cities. And so the SEC created a new exam that I passed in order to be able to be your advisor. And through this process, they have asked us to stop using the term financial advisor, which is in our old contract with the school district, and to update it to use the term municipal advisor. One of the other things that has kind of become more of a best practice is to not bundle together any fees. Historically, when you hire me, then I hire the law firm that creates all of the bond documents and gives the tax exempt opinion to the school district and to the investors. And so the SEC would like it to be more transparent. And so, and I'm no longer going to hire the attorney on your behalf. And next time you do a bond issue, then there will be a separate resolution to engage an outside law firm to do the legal work. And because I'm no longer paying the attorney, my fee needs to go down. I mean, it doesn't need to, but it's appropriate. Because typically legal is about 20 to 30% of my fee I turn around and pay to the attorney. So the new fee schedule that is attached, my fee is going down about 20 to 30% depending on the amount of bonds that you borrow at a time. All the services are the same that I have provided to the school district since you were formed. It's just laid out in a different manner to reflect some of these regulatory changes. So you don't, I just want to make you aware of that. I've met with Dr. Owa about it, walked him through, and this is kind of what I'm doing this summer is going to school boards and updating contracts to reflect the new SEC standards. So I'm glad to answer any questions about that from a high-level perspective or anything, you know, down to the weeds, depending on how far you want to go.
Okay, any questions from members? Pretty straightforward.
Do we need a motion to update that?
Yes, sir.
For the record? I'll make a motion that we employ First Security Beardsley as our municipal advisor and fiscal agent for a period of 3 years effective as of the date of adoption.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously.
Always a pleasure. And I guess come up with some excuse. I haven't gotten to see you guys in a while. Since interest rates are up, we're not doing any refinancings, but always glad to attend even if we don't do a transaction.
All right, thank you, Pastor Beersley. Okay, we are up to public comment. Do we have any public comments? Participants? Thank you. Okay, let me read this first. Board's a statement on public comment. Good evening, everyone. We now open the floor for public comments. This is a designated time for community members to share their thoughts on matters before the board. We welcome and appreciate your input and ask that you speak respectfully and professionally. Please refrain from making statements about individual students or district staff members, as the board only considers such matters upon recommendation from the superintendent. Your comments will be recorded in the official minutes. While we value your perspectives, please note that the opinions shared during public comment do not necessarily reflect the views of the board. We have one public person has signed up, Mr. Orlando Robinson. Please come forward.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
At last month's board meeting, we asked a simple systems level question. What is the primary constraint limiting student achievement in this district? And what measurable evidence is there of that constraint? We appreciate receiving a response, and as promised, we sent it for independent evaluation or analysis. That analysis produced our new publication, The Top 5 Strategies for Recruiting New Students in Local Public School Districts. This book presents a TMQ quantified systems-based model showing that student recruitment is a measurable byproduct of internal district performance. It identifies strategic domains where underperformance limits enrollment and provides dashboards, evaluation tools, and corrective action frameworks tailored specifically to Arkansas public school systems. Tonight, we're pleased to share that this book is now available entirely free in PDF form on our website. And because we believe transparency and accountability work best when everyone has access to the same information, we have also produced a physical edition. We brought a hard copy tonight, and we'd like to present it to the board president for review and reference. Our goal remains simple: to support transparent, measurable, and community-centered improvement efforts that help every student in this district succeed. We look forward to continued dialogue grounded in data, shared responsibility, and measurable evidence of progress. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mrs. Ross. Okay, we're up to, we saw Mr. Richardson is legal update. Almost had you marked out.
Well, I do like to be a man of few words. So I don't have a ton to report in the summer, and everyone's been doing a good job of staying out of trouble. We had 2 matters at the EEOC. They're not matters I'm concerned about. I think we'll deal with them in due course as the EEOC goes through their process, which usually takes some time. Other than that, we don't have any litigation going on at the moment, so well done, everyone.
That's good news. Any questions for Mr. Richardson? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we're up to the superintendent's report.
I actually have a PowerPoint for you all. Good evening, board members and audience. Quick overview of where we're headed for the FY27 school year and where we ended the FY26. So we want to set the course for how we're moving. Definitely after meeting with the leaders and just looking at our data, both quantitative and qualitative over the past few years, we saw that the focus on academics, behavior, and culture, the foundational work that that we believe actually needs to be focused on, actually did grow in our young people. And so, especially with the academics, we also saw though with the behavior, and we discussed the importance of not just teaching students academics, the content and standards, but it's also important for us to teach our young people the appropriate behavior in the appropriate settings. And so you will see a campaign that's launched this year on kindness at school. And so we're teaming up with our students, with our faculty, on making sure that all students know exactly what it means to be respectful and inclusive, and that it's not optional in our district. And we believe that focusing on academics and behavior will definitely continue to improve our culture moving forward. And so with that, we want to make sure that we are data-driven, so not just quantitative, but qualitative. And with that, that means that we have to continue to engage our students' voices, our parent voices, our educator voices, and our community partners, their voices when we make decisions. And so we're going to make a strategic effort, a concerted effort this year to make sure those voices are included in the decisions as we move forward, and so that we're making those data-driven, well-informed decisions so that in the end, all of our students are future ready and they're prepared for life after 12th grade here with us. As mentioned before, we're launching the Kindness is Cool, so you'll see a campaign video with our students in it and some staff members that Mrs. Williams, Chisa Williams, is working on through communications and marketing. Also led by the work that Dr. Jacob Smith is doing out of our student services, and along with collaboration from other district leaders as well. Again, we believe that we have to take a proactive role in making sure our students know that we're going to be strong, respectful, and kind to everyone, and teach that from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. But we know that our young people learn best from their peers, and so that's why we wanted to incorporate our students in the campaign as well. And so you'll see more about that in the next few weeks. Also, another quick update, many of you probably heard that or saw on the news that Arkansas was approved for their EdFlex plan that they submitted to the U.S. government. U.S. Department of Education, the U.S. Secretary was here last week and announced the approval of the plan. And actually, out of all the plans that were submitted, Arkansas has a unique plan. And when I'll report to you about the Legislative Advocacy Conference updates, I'll make note that Arkansas continued to be bragged upon or mentioned about the report, about our plan, EdFlex plan, that was submitted. Now, I will tell you, we're the first state ever receiving the waiver for all three areas, all four title programs. This means that our title programming will be consolidated into one budget, one pot of money, and with flexibility on how we utilize that as it pertains to student needs and educator needs. And so 4 federal funding streams moving into one, and that enabling consolidation of a little over $8.8 million over the next 4 years. And so Arkansas is the 21st state to receive this EdFlex waiver from the U.S. Department. So how it impacts us: advanced students, grades 5 through 8, can have high school assessment scores counted earlier. So if we now can have a waiver, we have a waiver that if we have students who are highly performing and they want to take Algebra 1 or any high school credit in the 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, or 8th grade, they can now and receive high school credit, and they will only have to take the end of the year assessment one time. And so a lot of more opportunities for our young people as we move forward. So we want to make sure scholars here at Jacksonville have that option as well. So I mentioned earlier about the Legislative Advocacy Conference. I joined 2 other superintendents last week in DC, and we met with the congressional staff members about what's on the pipeline. And you'll see at the bottom of the screen that E-rate, the internet funding, which was never created for educational purposes, but we do benefit from it, is on the line. There's the FCC, which stands for the Federal Communications Commission, is wanting to sunset these funds and no longer utilize them, but they also want to regulate screen time as well. And so that's before our congressmen and women in DC. They also, the House has proposed a budget, FY27, that will cut about 10% of the K-12 federal funding. And so, and just FYI, when we receive our federal funding, we receive the initial amount before our school year, and then the second pot, October 1st. What a lot of people don't realize is that October 1st is actually FY27. And so if this goes to the Senate and passes, that could definitely impact us dramatically at our district, statewide, and across the nation. Then also the new federal tax credit scholarship program could redirect public dollars to private schools. So that's before Congress as well. So a little brief, or I should say brief explanation about E-rate. E-rate is all about connectivity in our community. It connects our K-12, our higher ed, our library systems, with the connectivity like fiber optics. And so it's more important for our community than it is our educational system, even though we receive a lot of funds and rebates from E-rate. And so we definitely do not want to see this end. And so I want to make sure that our board, our staff, and our community were aware that this was before our congressmen and women and as a proposal, and how negatively it would impact our school system and our community. This is the proposal that I shared with you from the House. You will see what our FY26 contributions for Title I, Title II, Title III, IDEA, and Title IV were for FY26, and what the proposal from the House. I will tell you the President Trump, has also submitted his proposal, and his cuts are even dramatically worse than the House cuts as well. And so we're hoping the Senate does not move forward with the same type of proposal, because as you can see, Title II, which we use title teacher training for, they would like to eliminate that. Title III, eliminate that, and those funds are used for our English language learners. You will see a decrease in Title I as well, and so this would drastically impact us if it moves forward. So I wanted to make sure, and when we met with our congressional staff, we gave specific information to the team on how it will individually impact us. So I shared our story as a district and our needs and how we utilize those funds as well while we were there. Just more information, and board members, you have a snapshot at your seat on this as well. Also, just about the tax credit scholarship, as you will see, it's about $1,700 to a scholarship granting organization, and that's money leaving the district and how we provide services to our young people. But I will also tell you, this opens up an opportunity for our district as well, because we can actually create and operate a scholarship granting organization and create academics or academies of choice for our young people within the district. And so they will have other instructional options if we decide to move forward with that as well. So we can definitely take advantage of this opportunity as well, so that we can continue to attract and retain families in our district. More laws being passed, as you will see, to expand privacy protections to teens under 17. Also more a policy for online platforms, not schools, to design products more safely for minors, addressing self-harm and exploitation risk at the source. You will probably already know that Instagram has rolled out theirs about a year or two ago of some additional proactive safety measures for students 17 and under. And so we'll continue to monitor this. We definitely do not want this to impact our instructional policy and how we provide that instructional technology support to our young people, but we also want to make sure we keep our young people safe if they're online as well. So we'll continue to monitor that as well. Additional updates, I will tell you that CHISA, Mrs. Williams, has updated as we approach, or as we enter 10th year of operating the schools. She has added a history page to our website. And so a small video of all the leaders and board members and students and faculty members is located on here. History about the formation of JNPSD, the previous JNPSD superintendents are listed, as well as previous school board members, and where we started. And so if you look at that information, if it's incorrect, let Chief know. But she added all of the information as well as our ex officio school board members from our partners at the Little Rock Air Force Base as well. And so, and then of course, the hard work that been doing the past 10 years with building new schools for all of our scholars, but giving homage to, or paying homage to the original buildings, and of course showing where the district and the community has moved forward from. And so that is now live on the website, and actually the entire website has been revamped. So Mrs. Williams has been working hard over the summer to make sure that we stay current and we have data there. You will also see the 10-year anniversary video that I'm sure many of you have seen on social media as well. The last thing I will ask Mr. Hunt to come up. He's going to give you the end of the year FY26 finance report for your review and next steps action. You have a copy of that before you as well.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
We ended, as you know, the FY26 school year came to an end, and we ended with a cash balance of just north of $19.3 million in the bank. The food service balance ended at zero. They did run in the red this past year to the tune of about $91,000, so we made that transfer to bring them up to zero from the operating fund. We have a previous board resolution that likes us to keep the operating balance starting the next school year at $2.5 million. I am proposing that we up that to $4 million. We do have preliminary data that shows with improved academics that we have some staff performance incentive bonuses that are more than likely to be paid out. And if things go well, that could be to the tune of about $1 million or a little over $1 million. So we'd like to go ahead and budget that in by keeping that extra money in the operating fund to start the school year and not reduce it to $2.5 million. If you approve that, that would still leave us transferring money to the building fund of about $4.4 million. And that would, if that happens, that would leave the ending balance for the building fund to be about $13.3 million starting the next school year.
Any questions? Okay, I'm entertaining a motion.
I move that we change our resolution to have a ending balance of $4 million versus the $2.5 million previously.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay, we're up to the PPC report.
No PPC report this month.
Okay. Okay, we're up to the consent agenda. If everyone had a chance to look over the minutes, report, financial report, I'll entertain a motion to approve it if you have. If not, we'll hold off.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It passes unanimously. Okay, we're up to curriculum approval.
As board members, you have before you the 26-27 curriculum approval and the website where it's located. As per law, legislation, the requirement is for our board to review it and then approve it for the upcoming school year. So the recommendation is to approve that.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. Okay, we're up to number 8, improvement plans.
Yes, as mentioned about academics that I mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that all of our buildings, all of our schools have academic plans for improvement, and so those have been provided to you and the public, and I recommend approval of all plans that's before you.
Okay. Superintendent recommends approval of the school improvement plans. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. We're up to now to number 9, K's vending services.
Yes, board members, we had a proposal provided to us by one of our employees, Michaela Walker. She works for transportation. as your packet would indicate that the vending service that was at the vending machine that was at the transportation department did not keep fresh items in this machine, and so they're asking to update that. And Mrs. Walker, Michaela Walker, actually owns the vending services, and so we would have to provide the disclosure, financial interest, but also the resolution that's before you too. So the recommendation is to move forward with that if approved by the board.
Okay, superintendent has recommended that we approve the
Move to approve.
second. Excuse me, gotta get a second.
Second.
Oh, got a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And it passes unanimously. Okay, removal bus from district inventory.
Yes, as indicated in your packet, according to Arkansas Code, when we need to retire inventory, it must be board approval, and so we have before you the list of buses that do not pass inspection, and we would like to remove them from our district inventory. So the recommendation is to approve the removal of the bus that's listed in your packet.
Okay. Okay, do y'all hear a motion for
So moved.
second? Motion and a second, and please indicate approval by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays, are there any nays? No nays. Passes unanimously. Okay, ground maintenance service contract.
As many of you know, it's important that we keep our lawns looking nice to match the new buildings that we have. And so the team under Mr. Lester's leadership has reviewed the cost analysis of having the employees versus a service contract, and it's actually more cost effective for us to have a service contract. And so that's before you in your packet, and the recommendation is to approve Central Arkansas Landscapes LLC for ground services.
Is this for 1 year?
How many years, Mr.
1 year, we're going to do a year.
Okay. Got a motion to, excuse me, can I get a motion to approve the ground maintenance service
So
contract?
moved.
Second?
Second.
All who, motion and a second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. The waste disposal, this service contract.
Yes, we have had the services of Heavenly Trash before, and so we want to continue to use them for the waste disposal service contract. We did look at other entities and so did a cost analysis, and we believe that Heavenly Trash would be the best service provider for us, and so the recommendation is to approve that contract to Heavenly Trash.
Okay. Superintendent's made a recommendation. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor indicated by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes unanimously. HVAC coil cleaning services contract.
As indicated in the rationale, board members, we would like to recommend the Platinum Mechanical Coil Cleaning Contract because Mr. Stallmaker and the team has rebid the services after 3 years to determine whether cost savings could be realized through competitive procurement processes. And so they did receive 3 qualified bids for the service, and Platinum Mechanical Group was the lowest responsive bid. And so we're recommending approval for that contract.
Okay. Now, Superintendent's got a recommendation to approve the HVAC coil cleaning services contract. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
And a second? Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It passes unanimously. Okay, we're up to personnel now. Do we need to go into executive session?
Move to
Go into executive session? All right.
accuse myself.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry, we have an addendum. You can come back if you want to approve this addendum. You can't, okay, all right. I've got an addendum to the personnel agenda. Can I get a motion to approve it?
So moved.
Second? Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. All right, now we're going into executive session to discuss personnel. Call the meeting back to order, and we are up to personnel. Do I have a,
I need to recuse myself once again.
all right. Mr. Gray, you're going to recuse yourself. Okay, can I entertain a motion to approve the personnel agenda?
So moved.
Second, and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Daniel.
Nays? No. All right, it passes unanimously. Okay, we're up to, what's that thing called? Well, we're up to board comments. Anyone have any board comments they want to bring up? All right. So we're up to adjournment now. Mr. Gray, would you answer?
To adjourn.
All right, we are adjourned.